One of the Olympic Games' founding sports, modern pentathlon combines épée fencing, freestyle swimming, show jumping, pistol shooting, and running to find the most complete all-round athlete. With 3 events of the 2015 World Cup season already completed in Sarasota, Cairo and Rome, the pentathlon field headed to Kecskemét in Hungary for the 4th qualifying round of the series before the final in Belarus in June. As the capital city of Kecskemét, Hungary's largest county, Kecskemét is a city not only rich in history and culture, but also has a tradition within the sport of modern pentathlon and held the final round of the 2014 World Cup series. Great Britain's Jamie Cook took victory at the opening event in Sarasota, but his season took a turn for the worse in Cairo, and he was just glad to be back competing here in Kecskemét.
It was a good start in America, and then obviously I was ill in Cairo, which wasn't the best thing to happen during the competition. I've been training pretty hard for the last 3 weeks, trying to build back my fitness after Cairo. So I'm pretty tired, but going into it, like I said, I just want to have fun, try a few things, just enjoy it like we should do, and then see the result at the end of it.
After a difficult season so far, 2013 world champion Justinas Kinderis was hoping for an improvement in his fortunes.
This season is not easy. You know, I'm trying to be good in important competition, yeah, but of course, not every time you can choose your shape, you know. So in last World Cups I wasn't good, but I hope I will be in better shape.
Hungary has a long and proud history in modern pentathlon with 4 post-war Olympic champions in the men's competition. And Pentathlon Demeter was one of several local athletes hoping to push for victory this weekend.
It's, I think, very exciting, and visitors can give me more the advantage like that, and my relatives and my father and mother come to visit me, and they can cheer me, so it's very good for me.
The first challenge of the weekend for Demeter and the other 85 athletes starting the competition would be to make it through the semi-finals and secure one of the 36 places in the men's individual final. The day began in typically dramatic fashion in the fencing hall, before the athletes moved to the swimming pool for the 200-meter freestyle. And finally onto the combined event, where they began each semi-final in reverse points order. While most of the leading athletes, including Jamie Cook and Pentathlon Demeter, qualified comfortably from their semi-finals, Justinas Kinderis missed out, despite this last-ditch sprint for the finish line. Rome World Cup winner Pavlo Tymoshenko was another big name to struggle, and after a tough morning he started his semi-final well down in 14th place. With only the top 8 guaranteed to qualify, Tymoshenko was facing an uphill battle. A strong performance saw him move up to 6th and make it through to the final, but it wasn't an experience he'd enjoyed.
Today was a hard day, harder than previous World Cup this year. Fencing and swimming was not so good, not so easy, and so I started from 14th position, and I had to run fast, so it was hard.
Sunday began with a new schedule for the competitors, who began finals day not on the fencing piste, but in the swimming pool. Tymoshenko went in the morning's first heat, which also included 2012 World Cup final winner Ilya Frolov.
Frolov just edging ahead of Pat of France. It is neck and neck between the Frenchman and the Russian as they come into the final few metres. And it looks like, actually, I think Frolov just took that over Christoph Pat.
Heat 4 was expected to be the fastest of the day so far and included Pentathlon Demeter and Cairo World Cup winner Ruslan Nakonechny.
close. These final few metres is going to decide who takes heat 4, and it's coming down to Demeter of Hungary and Lee of Korea, neck and neck. I'm not sure who's going to get this, and it just goes to Lee of Korea, Demeter of Hungary having to settle for second.
The day's final heat included the 7 fastest qualifiers from the semi-finals, with Poland's Michał Grzelewski and Jamie Cook expected to challenge for victory.
This is an absolutely storming swim by the British athlete. Jamie Cook has left the rest of the field metres behind him as he carries on to open up the lead even more. There is no coming back from this, and he is going to take the fastest heat with an incredible time. We'll have to wait and see, but the victory goes to Jamie Cook of Great Britain, Grzelewski in second, and Kustov takes third.
It was an interesting race. I didn't feel very good in the warm-up, felt quite slow and heavy. But then when I was racing, I felt quite nice. But yeah, I think I was more surprised than anyone when I looked up and 1:56, I think, so it's pretty good.
So, confirmation of the swimming times, with Cook topping the standings and taking 350 points, ahead of Grzelewski and Maxim Kustov of Russia, with Jung Jin-hwa of Korea in fourth on 339 points. Traditionally, the opening event of the morning, moving the fencing to the middle of the day, allowed the athletes to compete in both the round robin and bonus fencing at the same venue. First up was the round robin, which would see all 36 athletes compete against each other in 1-minute bouts, with the first to get a touch being the winner. After such a strong start to the competition, Jamie Cook's day took a turn for the worse on the fencing piece, and he picked up just 12 victories in a performance that would drop him out of overall contention. Having struggled to qualify, Pavlo Tymoshenko was back at the sharp end of the leaderboard, and he finished a solid morning with 21 victories. Russia's Maxim Kustov had finished the swim in a superb third overall, and he continued his strong start to the day by matching Tymoshenko's performance. Frenchman Valentin Prade had his best fence of the season so far, taking 23 victories to give him a share as second in the fencing standings. Equaling Prade's victory tally was compatriot Valentin Belord, who put himself back in contention after a disastrous swim had left him down in 35th place coming into the fencing. South Korea's Lee Woo-jin had started the morning with a strong swim, and he equalled Prade and Belord to finish with 23 wins.
Hungary is a great place for the competition, and I like this arena. Today I fenced very well and I got a lot of points, which makes me happy. Of course I hope to win the gold medal, but first I have to compete in the riding and the combine, but I hope I can win gold.
Ahead of Lee and topping the fencing standings after his best performance of the season so far was Ilya Frolov.
I'm feeling it's good. It's because it's a good day. It's my good performance in fencing. I'm happy.
Here's confirmation of the fencing results, with Frolov finishing clear in the lead with 25 victories to take 250 points, with Lee Woo-jin, Valentin Belord and Valentin Prade all tied in second on 238. With the round robin complete, the event moves straight into the fencing bonus round. Newly introduced for this World Cup season, the event was streamed live around the world to thousands of viewers, and not only brings the excitement of épée fencing to the crowds, but also gives the athletes the chance to earn extra points, with each victory earning 1 point, equal to 1 second in time. One man who really made it count was South Korean Jun Wong-tae. He set a new record for the bonus fencing, taking 7 consecutive bouts. Before finally losing out to Ruslan Nakонечный. Amongst the top fencers, Valentin Prade moved into a clear second in the fencing standings, with victories against Maxim Kustov and Valentin Belord. The final matchup was between the top two fencers of the day, Ilya Frolov and Li Wujin. Despite losing out to Frolov, it's South Korea's Lee who now tops the overall standings on 573 points, 5 ahead of the Russian. Compatriot Maxim Kustov is tied with Frolov and Michał Gralewski on 568, with Valentin Prad now 5th and Valentin Belod up to 8th, whilst those 7 fencing bonus points moved Jun Wung Tai up to 9th overall. After a long morning of indoor competition, the athletes moved outside for the afternoon session, which began with the third discipline of the day, the horse riding. Riders take to the course in reverse order in the standings, and 14th place Pavlo Timoshenko was looking to close the gap on the rest of the field ahead.
A nice sweeping approach into the triple. And you can see him giving really nicely with his hands, and the horse clear through fence 10. It's a sharp left-hand turn. And he's not made it so sharp, he's gone around fence 3. And a really good approach to the wall. One fence left, and he makes it a clear round.
Valentin Belod and Jun Wung Tai both completed their rounds with 1 fence down to stay in overall contention. With only 6 riders still to jump, fellow Korean Jung Jin-hwa was next to take to the course.
It's through the double for Jung. Number 5 is clear, and he's looking for his fence. Over his left-hand shoulder, the horse will see where the rider is looking. Got in really close there to 7, and it disturbed his line to 8, but he recovered it well and on nicely to 9. So he was lucky to get through that line, but now it is a triple, so he'll want a really good approach for fence 10. And he had it. Really nice and straight through there. And he's taking his time, but taking the shortcut, but made it look very smooth and easy into 11. 1 fence left to go. Oh, and he just got away with it over 12.
That clear round would put Jung in a strong position overall, with Valentin Prad next to go and clear heading into fence 3.
Good over 3 for Prad, but he's just arguing a little bit with the horse on the approach to 4 and just caused a lack of concentration. It's quite a short striding horse this, so he needs to keep it moving. Easy to take the shortcuts, but not so easy to make up the time. And that gives him a round with just 1 pole down and maybe a few time faults.
21-year-old Pole Michał Gralewski was having the best World Cup performance of his senior career so far, but 3 fences down and time penalties would drop him down the order. Each rider's horse is chosen at random, and second place Maxim Kustov was hoping his horse would bring him good fortune.
From Russia, Maxim Kustov, riding Casino.
Off to a good start for Kustov. But not, that's a pole down at fence 2. That's early on in the course. We've seen it go a few times. He just looks like he's not quite, the horse isn't quite listening to him. He's trying his best there to set it up for 4. Got in a bit too close. So clear over 11, just 1 fence left to go, and nicely over 12.
So 2 poles down and no time penalties for Kustov, with just 2 riders left to jump. First to go was fellow Russian Ilya Frolov, who was clear heading into fence 5.
Nicely through the double. As he approaches fence 6 and clear over that, and it's quite a few fences on the left rein now as he comes into 7 at the top of the arena. Oh, and that was a dodgy approach there, but he straightened himself out for 8 and got away with it. Enough time to collect for 9. Now it's a triple where he'll need a nice straight entry to set him up for this combination. And he did that by the book there. 2 fences left to go. He's just trying to bring the horse back under control. Took 11 on a bit of an angle. He's managed to retrieve himself and good over 12.
That superb round for Frolov with just 4 time penalties meant all the pressure was on the last man to jump, Korea's Lee Woo-jin.
It's got quite long reins here. He's not looking under as much control as we'd like to see, but he seems to be making the most of it and clear over the fence number 6. He's got his hands really high, and you can see them. Just took out fence 7, and the horse looked a bit upset after that. He needs to try and lower his hands and relax a bit to make the horse flow. He cleared 9. And now into the triple, but the horse's head really high, and that pole was bound to go. It's just reacting to the fact that Lee is just holding really tight and not lowering his hands and relaxing, and the horse really not sure where he's supposed to be going. Got really confused at fence 3, but he's rescued it and clear over 11. Quite an angle of approach for 12, but again, somehow he's got over it.
So a disappointing round for Lee, but there was still a Korean athlete at the top of the riding standings, with Jung Jin-hwa, one of just 4 riders to take the maximum 300 points. Christopher Pat, Pavlo Timoshenko and Gergely Demeter were the other riders to go clear inside the target time, with Ilya Frolov picking up 4 time penalties and 296 points. In the overall standings, it's Frolov who now leads on 864. That clear round moves Jung Jin-hwa into second, and he starts the combined event just 9 seconds behind, with Maxim Kustov 1 second further back in third. Lee Woo-jin drops to 4th, 12 seconds behind the leader, with the French duo Valentin Prat and Valentin Belot close behind. Rome winner Pavlo Timoshenko rounds out the top 10, just 27 seconds back.
The podium is changing, and that is also good to see that the level are so high and they are so close. A small mistake and you're not on the podium. So, and they know that. And for us, it's fantastic, so that we can show we are really a global sport and not the 1 or 2 nations are dominating our sport.
And so to the final discipline, with 3.2 kilometres of cross-country running and 4 rounds of laser pistol shooting combined to decide which 3 athletes will be on that podium.
Take your march, start.
Frolov of Russia off with a 9-second advantage heading into this combined event. But 9 seconds can soon disappear if just a couple of missed shots. Second place, it's Jung of Korea, Kustov 3rd, Lee also of Korea in 4th. It just shows how close it is at the start line. But Frolov with that advantage. And he looks like he's going to maintain it after this first shoot if he just gets 2 more shots. And yes, he's out of the range, so good shooting by Frolov. And he's going to maintain that lead at this early stage. Jung of Korea having a good shoot, and he's out, still in 2nd place as well. And Kustov stuck on 3 at the moment. Lee up to 4. And Lee is out now. Lee's moved up from 4th up to 3rd. And I think Kustov having a few problems, but Frolov looking relaxed out on the 800-meter running course. Jung in 2nd, and look at the pack for 3rd place at the moment. It really is anybody's race for that bronze medal. Christophe Pat of France leading the charge. Timoshenko moved up a little bit, 10th on his vest, but Kustov dropped right back after that first shoot. So into the 2nd shoot for Frolov. And he's still got a good lead. You can't see any other athletes in the background just yet. Missed his first shot. Missed it twice now. He needs to start getting into his rhythm, because in a moment he'll have the pressure as the other athletes join him on the range, and it is Jung of Korea just come up in 2nd, below of France, but good shooting in the end. Frolov sorted it out and he's left the range, so the fight was going to be on for 2nd and 3rd to leave the shooting range. A lot of lights on 3. Jung still hanging on to silver, so he's out next. And look at that, it's his teammates. Korea are now in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but Valentin below of France right behind them. So Ilya Frolov relaxed in the lead. But Valentin below now has overtaken the Koreans, and he's moved up to 2nd. Jung of Korea hanging on to 3rd. And Timoshenko trying to get back in medal contention. He's just off the pace a bit at the moment. Frolov coming in for his third shoot. And the eye patch back under his cap. Looks like he's starting his stopwatch as well, which is interesting. And he'll start to feel that pressure. He's really struggling with his first shot. It was the last time that he took a few attempts, but he's going to feel the pressure now as Valentin Belot is already on the range. And he got his first shot off well. Frolov needs one more. He's got it, so Ilya Frolov of Russia still in the lead. Just one shoot left to go. But Valentin Belot, good shooting by the Frenchman, and he's going to be chasing down the Russian athlete. He's got a good run on him. And now moved up to third, it is Jun of Korea. And it's pretty close behind him in fourth. Lots of athletes all leaving the range at once, and we're going to see what happens on this next 800 meters. But the lead hasn't changed. Frolov still looking in control, but I think there's quite a threat here by the Frenchman. Valentin Belot looks very controlled in his running, and he's going to be feeling quite confident in that position, I think. And this is where the fight is for the rest of the field. It is for that bronze medal. So Jun of Korea leading the bronze medal fight at the moment. Christophe Pat of France just behind him, and Timoshenko has moved up quite a bit after that last shoot. There's Valentin Prade of France as well in the mix. So here, Frolov looking like he's tiring a little bit as Belot chasing him down. And you can see now these athletes, the distance has shortened between them, and Frolov's lead is no longer that significant at all. And this final shoot for them is going to be pretty vital. Frolov needs a very good shoot, Belot being the faster runner. But Belot is ahead of him at the moment. One more shot to go. Has the Frenchman done it? I think he's struggling on that last shot. They're both struggling. Belot has got it. He's out in front of Frolov. Ilya Frolov struggling on that final shoot. Still time to start his stopwatch, but I think he realizes that he's really going to struggle. The Frenchman there looking confident, even time for a high five as he heads off on the final 800-meter lap. I think he can taste that gold medal now. Back on the range, this is where the fight for the bronze medal is, and it really is so close. Three athletes leaving the range together, and it's going to come down to an 800-meter run to decide who wins bronze. But I think out in the lead, Valentin Belot of France is going to take the gold, and Ilya Frolov should be able to hang on to that silver. But it's going to be close, and the fight for bronze now, it looks like the bronze medal position at the moment is Valentin Prade of France. Now he's just had a strong run on the first few hundred meters out of the shooting range, overtaking Jun of Korea, who's currently in fourth, and also his teammate Christophe Pat. And Timoshenko just not managing to quite get in the mix. And what a great victory for the Frenchman. His first World Cup victory. It's going to be the gold medal for Valentin Belot of France. What a strong combine to finish this day at World Cup 4. Ilya Frolov of Russia settling for the silver medal. And let's see who comes out of this bronze medal fight. It is going to be Valentin Prade taking the bronze. Fourth goes to Jun of Korea, and fifth Timoshenko from Ukraine.
So it's Valentin Belot who takes the gold medal with 1,504 points. Second, after leading for much of the combined, was Ilya Frolov, with Valentin Prade taking the bronze medal after his best performance of the season so far. Jun Wong Tai finished the best of the South Koreans in fourth, with Pavlo Timoshenko in fifth, Christopher Pat sixth, and Jung Jinhua and Lee Woon-jin rounding out the top 8.
Valentin Belot!
This is my first victory in the World Cup. It's very, very good. I start the season in Sarasota in 13th place, in Cairo in 5th place, and for the last World Cup I searched for the first place, and today I win. It's amazing.
From Russia, Ilya Frolov!
I feel it's very good because it's very hard in running trace, and it's very beautiful victory in Belout. It's very faster. I'm old. I'm old.
I'm so happy, of course. I'm happy because I have a difficult winter. I'm injured, and I just begin training since 8 or 9 weeks. In a World Cup 2, my first of the season, I have a good place before combine, but I don't run good. In World Cup 3 in Rome, I made a bad fencing, and today it's good. It's a Valentine comeback.
So it's goal for Valentin Belod. Join us again from Minsk in Belarus, where the top 36 qualifiers will battle it out to be crowned winner of the 2015 Modern Pentathlon World Cup.